What is up, guys? I'm not going to do my usual intro for this video because if I'm being completely honest, I'm going to try to keep my cool here, but I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty pissed right now because, I know I normally do a news channel and stuff like that, and people, will criticize me and talk smack or whatever pretty frequently. But if someone's going to make lies about me, I'm going to defend myself. And that's what's happening right now with Suzy Lu because she just put out a video where she tries to demonize me and label me as someone who goes around harassing people. And this video is just littered with lies. Now, before I get into it, I don't have any plan for this video. I'm just going to kind of talk off the cuff. But before I get into this video, I want to make something crystal fucking clear right now. Do not harass Suzy Lu. Do not dislike her videos. Do not leave mean comments on her videos. Do not harass her on Twitter or anything like that. Because these are things that, contrary to the way she tries to make it seem, I do not condone these things. Now, I want to get into this. I'm going to bring up her video here. She puts out this video called The Real Tea. And this video is just littered with lies and manipulation. And I'm going to explain why I feel that way. In this video, she claims that I have a reputation for harassing other creators and that I'm on YouTube's radar. That they got a complaint from another creator. I believe she indicated that it was a female creator. She got a complaint from them, or rather YouTube got a complaint from them, and YouTube reached out to her to ask her opinion on this complaint. I don't buy that, if I'm being completely honest. I literally went through my entire back catalog of videos to find a single video where, did I go too far in a particular situation? Maybe I did something that I didn't intend to be harassment, but they viewed it that way. I could find nothing in my channel. For those of you guys who aren't familiar with my channel, I do a news show. I report the news on what's going on the web, trending news on the web. I cover like social media influencers, stuff like that. YouTubers, Twitch streamers, Instagram models, whatever. Basically think of it like a low budget version of TMZ for online influencers, that sort of thing. But I don't harass people in my videos. I'm very critical of people who do bad things on the platform. That's what I do. Now, I have a podcast that I do one time a week with my co-hosts, The Phoenix Diva and Biscuit Basher. And on that podcast, we do like to have a little bit of fun with the subject matter. We'll crack jokes, we'll say memes, and all kinds of stuff like that. We go hard on that. It's kind of like a shock jock radio style show, right? But even then, I wouldn't say that we harass anyone. We're very transparent with the fact that we don't want anyone to be harassed based on jokes or opinions that we express in our podcast. At no time whatsoever have I ever encouraged my audience to harass anyone, nor have I done anything that I view as harassment to anyone. But Suzy Lu would have you believe that I have a reputation on this platform for harassing people, and that other content creators have complained to YouTube about that. And for whatever reason, YouTube came to her for her opinion on me being a serial harasser, supposedly. I don't buy that for a couple of reasons. The first one that I want to bring to your guys' attention, let's take a look at my flag history on my channel. In the 13 years that I have been a YouTube content creator, the only time my content has been flagged down via a community guideline strike on YouTube is Suzy Lu related videos. Last year, unfortunately it says content unavailable, but last year she flagged down an interview I did with a lawyer where I discussed whether or not Mark After Dark's clip, that's the clip she flagged down last year for a copyright strike, whether his clip was fair use, whether what she did was an abuse of the copyright strike system, and whether content that she had re-uploaded from other sources was used in a matter that constitutes fair use. An interview with a lawyer is harassment. Explain how that makes sense to anyone. How me conducting an interview with a lawyer is harassment. It makes no sense. That was literally the first ever community guideline strike I have ever gotten in the history of my channel. A Suzy Lu video. Then we look at these three videos here. These are the ones that were flagged down recently. These are clips from my podcast, which, like I said, We tell jokes on the podcast. We let loose a little bit. We have a little bit of fun with the topics we're talking about. It's very much a shock jock radio style show where we have fun with the topics that we're talking about. These are all Suzy Lu related videos. Let's look at the titles. Suzy Lu reveals master plan to continue stealing anime. Boo-hoo for poor little Suzy Lu. Karma comes down hard on Suzy Lu. These are all Suzy Lu related videos. So explain to me how, if I have a history of harassing other creators, why have the only videos that have ever been taken down on my channel been Suzy Lu's videos? Let's ask another question too. If I am on YouTube's radar for supposedly harassing creators, why haven't they just terminated my channel then? If they are really that concerned about the content on my channel, they could just nuke me the same way they did Monkey Jones. Why haven't they done that if I have a history for harassing creators? This doesn't make any sense. In addition to that, I don't buy her story because of the fact that if YouTube approached Suzy Lu with someone else's concerns about me or any information about my channel, that would be a violation of their privacy policy. As a matter of fact, I would have grounds to issue a lawsuit against YouTube if they were sharing personal information about me and my channel with another creator. I don't think YouTube would put themselves in that position. So I highly doubt this story is accurate. But if by some chance this did happen and there's another creator out there that feels like I was harassing them, again, I went through my back catalog to try and find something. I couldn't find anything that would be considered harassment against another creator. Jokes about someone is not harassment, and criticism about someone is not harassment. I dug deep in my content to try and find anything that would even remotely be considered harassment. I found nothing. But if by some slim chance what she's saying is true about me, I'm looking into the camera right now, and I'm talking to whoever this person is, because Suzy Lu didn't say who this was, and she didn't reveal any evidence that she had any communications with YouTube. No proof whatsoever that this actually happened, okay? But if by some chance there is another creator out there that I've covered on my channel, and they feel like I've harassed them in the course of my content, I want to welcome you to reach out to me so we can have a conversation about it. And if you really do feel like I ever harassed you in the coverage of my reporting, sincerely from the bottom of my heart right now, I apologize. I'll be honest, I doubt that's ever happened. I doubt this story that Suzy Lu provided no evidence of is true. But if it is, from the bottom of my heart, I sincerely apologize if anyone has ever felt harassed by the content I do. At the end of the day, on my typical news videos, I'm just reporting the news of what's going on in the community. And there have been situations where creators have been concerned about my content. Maybe something I said in my content wasn't entirely accurate. Maybe they had counter evidence proving that what was said in one of my videos, based on the evidence I presented, was false. And they've shown me proof that these things are false. And you want to know how I've responded to that? I don't be disrespectful to those creators. I'm not a complete asshole to them. If they can show me proof that what they're saying is true, I'll take down the video, I'll issue a retraction, and I'll make it right. I've done it several times in the past. I'll give you an example. Bad Bunny. She reached out to me when I did a video on her. And she said, hey, you know what? I don't know if you know this about me, but I play a character in my videos. So this whole skit about me, demanding money from my fans, it's a skit. It's a bit. I play a character. And I made sure to note that on my video. I said, hey, Bad Bunny reached out to me, and this is what she said, that she plays a character, that this is all an act. And I made sure to set the record straight, and Bad Bunny was happy about that. She said, thank you for making that correction. I appreciate that. I have no problem issuing corrections if I need to on my content. And I've even given Suzy Lu and Stejo multiple opportunities to debunk the things they claim that are false in my videos. You want to know how many times Suzy Lu and Stejo have reached out to me to correct the record? 0. Not once. I honestly don't believe that what I do is harassment. I've reported on countless creators, whether it's on my normal news videos or whether it's on my podcast. And the thing is, as public creators, public figures, we're not immune to criticism, and people will make fun of us. Countless times people have called me fat, a basement dweller, claiming that I live with my parents and all this stuff that's like, they're making fun of me and it's false. And I don't strike that stuff down, or I don't report those accounts or anything like that, because I'm a public figure. People are going to criticize me and they're going to make fun of me, and that's fine. They are free to say whatever the fuck they want about me. Anything. The only times I've ever like flagged down videos or flagged down comments and stuff like that is if they're revealing my personal information in those comments or in those videos. Aside from that, if people want to make fun of me, who cares? If people want to criticize me, who cares? They're free to do that. But I've never run into a situation where a creator, especially with as big of a platform as Suzy Lu, has been so sensitive about criticism that she would flag down videos like this. I mean, by her standards here and by YouTube standards here, talk show hosts should be flagged down off of YouTube. They make fun of people all the time. Stand-up comedians. Are we essentially going to say that comedy isn't allowed on this platform now because Suzy Lu said so? That sounds blatantly ridiculous. So again, I don't believe for a second this notion that I have a reputation for harassing creators. If anything, I've heard constantly from people, Tipster, why do people get so upset with you? Of all the people who cover drama on YouTube, like, you're the most laid back. You're the most chill. Why does everybody have a problem with you? And I'll be honest, I don't know. Maybe because I'm so laid back and I'm so, nice to people and stuff like that, that's viewed as weakness. And so they think they can just fuck with me because I'm the nice guy. I can't explain it. I don't know. And that's fine. Like, if people don't like me, they don't like me. If people want to be critical of me, they can be critical of me. If they want to make fun of me for my appearance, have at it. I don't have a problem with people doing that. I think it's nuts. And she says that, like, in several tweets or whatever, she implies that I've sent my fans to attack her and stuff like that. That's never happened. I've told my audience the opposite. Don't harass the people that I talk about in my videos. Don't bother them. Don't dislike their videos and stuff like that. I don't approve of those things. In fact, I've seen things that people have said about her on her social media posts and in Twitter replies and stuff like that that I don't agree with. I've seen people try to dox her. I disavow that. I've seen people tell her to kill herself. Again, I disavow that. I do not approve of people harassing you simply because I was critical of you in one of my videos. That's simply not the case. She also says that there's no evidence of the claims made against her. My videos are littered with evidence. Even in regards to these strikes, do we have an up-to-date listing of her report history? No, we don't. There's definitely a screenshot out there of her revealing her report history on Augie's show last year, so we know she flags videos. But she's saying that she doesn't flag videos and there's no proof of it. We may not have an updated copy of a flag history, but we do have archived versions of tweets where you've admitted to it. To say that we don't have proof is just blatantly false because you've admitted to it. Let me show you a tweet here in response to Cinna where he asked if you have ever reported me. You responded with, I reported his channel a long time ago. He made a ton of videos on me full of completely false information. Again, I've given you and Stejo multiple opportunities to reach out to me with any evidence you have debunking my claims. I've done that multiple times, and not once have you reached out to me with anything. You or Stejo. I have evidence to back up my claims, and you haven't presented anything. YouTube are well aware of his channel and many others who try to push the boundaries of what is acceptable on the site. Here's another tweet where you basically gloat about the fact that you flagged videos and you threaten that it's going to keep happening. It's funny how people bully others for months and then play victim when karma comes back around. Sending your 5-year-old fans to dislike and hate on my appearance won't change a thing. I've never sent my fans to do anything like that. Not once. This is just the beginning. That is a threat. You are threatening to continue to abuse the reporting system, to try to flag down criticism. Here's another tweet. I don't mass flag videos, only ones I'm unhappy with. Tipster is already on YouTube's radar for harassing other creators on and off platform. It's a bit deeper than people think, and not only to do with me. Who am I harassing? Who? You provided no proof that I've ever harassed anyone. You just said it. Where is the proof? I have proof to back up the things that I say about you, so where is your proof against me? If you can provide valid proof that I have harassed someone and that someone came to YouTube to complain about me harassing them, I will 100% own up to it. But I can't think of a single instance where I've harassed anyone. I don't even view the content I've created on you as harassment. You may disagree with me, and that's fine. You're free to disagree with me. But I can't think of anyone that I've ever harassed, ever. Criticizing someone for bad behavior is not harassment. And telling some lighthearted jokes on a podcast is not harassment. It's just not. Another thing she tried to do in this video, she tried to use my own words against me. After the flags went down, I appeared on, I think it was Augie's show. I believe that's the clip that she showed there. And I said, should I have made fun of her forehead? No, I probably shouldn't have. That's me acknowledging that, hey, you know what? Maybe that was too far. And maybe I shouldn't have done that. That doesn't mean that I knew ahead of time that someone was going to flag my videos because they can't handle a little bit of joking and tomfoolery. Like I said, I've been doing this a long time. I've never had a situation like that happen before where someone got so upset about a simple joke that they decided to flag down my videos. People make fun of me all the time, and I don't get upset about it. People make fun of all kinds of creators, big and small. Most of them don't get upset about it. I've never seen someone with as big a platform as Suzy get upset about harmless jokes. But she tried to use my words against me there to indicate that I knew when I created that content that it broke YouTube's rules. Newsflash, I didn't know. I was simply willing to accept that maybe that was wrong and own up to my potential mistake. Something that Suzy's not willing to do. Suzy won't own up to her mistakes, but I do. When I make mistakes, I've never understood YouTubers not being able to just own up to their mistakes and apologize. They could avoid so much trouble if they would just own up to shit when they do something wrong. So many of these YouTubers drag it out and refuse to apologize or refuse to admit they did anything wrong. It's not that hard to just admit that you were wrong and apologize. I don't see why that is so difficult for people. But me saying that maybe I shouldn't have, looking back in hindsight, you know, they say hindsight's 20/20. I didn't know that content was going to get flagged when I uploaded it. So for you to pretend like I knew I was breaking the rules when I uploaded that content is just false, and it's manipulative. I can't think of anything else that I want to respond to in regards to me, but I do want to defend Swan on something here too. When Swan was working on his video about Suzy Lu, we were talking about it in a private conversation. He was sharing updates with us on the video that he was working on. And he uploaded a preview of a segment that was meant to be in that video, where he analyzed the size of Suzy Lu's forehead. Now, about a week after that video got uploaded, it was struck down by Suzy Lu. And he immediately came to us in private and he said, I'm going to remove that part of the video from the video. I'm not going to include it in the final video because I know it's just going to get flagged down again. And he removed that. He removed that entire segment about Suzy Lu's forehead from the video. And she blatantly lied to her audience today in this video. She said that after that video got flagged, the little teaser, that he still included that segment in his final video, knowing that what he did was wrong. That is blatantly false, Suzy. You just lied to your audience. That segment was not in the video. There are dozens of re-uploads of that video all over YouTube. Go ahead and look one of them up. You will not see that segment in that video because it was cut. It was completely removed from the video. You just lied to your audience about Swan. What you said was false. A lot of what you said in this video is false. I don't know what else to say about this situation. I just felt the need to come out and talk about this because I had someone lying on me. And I feel like I have a right to defend myself if someone's going to lie on me. Suzy, I don't hate you. I dislike you because you've tried to flag down my videos and that you can't own up to your mistakes, but I don't hate you. And I don't want anyone to harass you. I don't even necessarily want you to get in trouble with these anime companies or anything like that, or get terminated off of YouTube. I don't want that from you. I just want you to admit that you were wrong and apologize to the people that you need to apologize for. That's it. How hard is that? And again, I've said this dozens of times in my recent videos on you. I would be more than happy to stop talking about you. Quite frankly, I'm sick of covering you on my channel. But I run a news show, and people come to me for the news of what's going on in the community. And as long as you're doing things that justify reporting on my show, I'm going to report it. You're not going to scare me away, Suzy. And you're not going to blatantly lie to people that I go around harassing other creators. It's just not true. Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap up this video here. I really wanted to get that off my chest because I don't take too kindly to people telling blatant lies about me. Anyway, guys, that's all I have to say. Sorry this wasn't a more interesting video. I just had to share my thoughts about this. Take care, everyone.
I have seen some bad response videos before, but this clearly takes the cake. It is probably the worst response to criticism I have ever witnessed, at least on YouTube, that I can remember. That said, as always, I will do my best to stick to the facts, however spirited I may get, and I will ask that you stay on this video and that your fervor, if you're looking to react, you know, there's a nice little thumbs button, there's a comment, and you can share it. Because some of the claims that Suzy Lu made are absolutely absurd, including but not limited to having inside sources at Google that answered her on whether or not she was being investigated. Source claims that she has insiders at YouTube who reached out to her unprompted about a channel with 10,000 subscribers at the time to ask her her opinion on what they should do with her, and then also informed her of the ongoing investigation of said channel. Which, first of all, if it's true, Suzy Lu, as you say in your video, only you know, prove it. Take the emails where YouTube, as you put it, these are your words, YouTube reached out to you and asked you about a YouTube channel, and you responded. Just redact the name. I want to see the email. You can send it to TheQuartering@gmail.com. I won't publish it. If you have that email where YouTube, as you put it, reached out to you unprompted to ask about a channel that made videos about you, I don't believe you. I don't believe you picked up the phone and called Google today to verify if they were investigating you. If you did, if you had some sort of communication with them, I would like to see some evidence of that. Because as it stands right now, I don't believe you.
I don't believe you.
I work with Google every single day. My ad agency manages nearly $15 million in spend. I can pick up the phone and talk to somebody. You can't. Nobody at Google is picking up the phone to talk about YouTube drama. I don't believe you.
You're upset that I don't believe you.
I am.
Nobody believes
I'm
you.
sorry, I just don't believe you. You have not persuaded me. I'm sorry. What do you want me to do? Tell you that I believe you when I don't?
No.
Yes.
No, I don't.
I don't
But
believe you. I
what
asked you, have you
chance have
told,
I
is
really
everything
gotten
you've told me
to-
the truth?
It
You
is the
said
truth.
yes. That's just simply not true.
It is the truth. Everything that I've told you has been the truth.
I don't believe you.
On top of the utterly crazy strategy of simply saying people are just jealous of you. There are many other things in this video that I need to respond to. I'll have my editor cut as much as he can and obscure as much as he can, because I know you think that you own the copyright to videos that you put online, which is curious because all that anime you upload
To go even further beyond! No, stop it!
Suzy Lu.
I mean, it's just awfully convenient that your videos of your face are not protected and are fair use, but those full-length anime episodes of Naruto that you upload, that is fair use. Let's get into this, in my opinion, absolute train wreck of a video. Now I'll cut out the irrelevant parts or parts that I don't have time to respond to, because I know for a fact people put out these long apology videos because they know no one's going to watch them all the way through. And I'm not going to put up a 60-minute response video. So I may react to this in 2 parts if people are interested, but I want to take a look at only the most juicy, most delectable bites first. And by the way, I like reaction channels. I just don't like liars.
Welcome back to the channel. I bet you guys were expecting the typical... We need to talk, guys.
But you literally just did it. Anyway.
Basically, YouTube already came out and they had a tweet. They informed the people that were affected why they took down some YouTube videos. And as far as I was concerned, like when I seen that, I was like, oh, thank God for that. Do you know what I mean? Because people were looking at me and they were like, it was you. You did all this. You did all this. And it's...
But Suzy Lu did admit to, in this video, not only flagging down at least 2 videos, but also admitted to her fandom doing it. And let me be very clear to my fans. I would never, ever support this kind of behavior. And I know you all know better. Now, I know some people are reaching out to the anime creators. This is definitely in the gray area. But in terms of YouTube, I would never support that.
The reason I wasn't going to say anything is because at the end of the day, the people admitted that they knew that their videos were a little bit on the sketchy side.
Will I say that maybe it was too far to go for the forehead jokes?
Now, I wonder if Tipster is going to issue a copyright claim on this video because she's using his likeness. Again, you'll see a reoccurring theme in this video, and that is the ends justify the means.
We're indoors. It's boring. I get it. Like, I have been going out of my mind as well with absolute boredom, but I don't use that as an excuse to start a witch hunt against someone. Can't relate.
Oh, she's just so above it all. I don't know if this is intentional, but boy, in my opinion, the attitude here is not one of contrition, one of absolute defiance. And fine. We'll see how this plays out for you in terms of the marketplace of viewers for your channel. It's already bleeding about 1,000 subscribers a day. We'll see what tomorrow brings.
So this is when it kind of all like kicked off. This is when it started. Basically, back then, I came across a creator that I was really unhappy with how he had used my video. Like, it wasn't a video that was criticizing me.
Again, to be clear, Suzy Lu, in my opinion here, is admitting that the reason she struck that video is simply she didn't like it.
And I think what's even weirder was that he never even referenced my clip in his video.
He doesn't have to.
It's like, why was it there? There was absolutely no point.
It was a joke.
It was a joke.
Huh?
That's why it was there. I mean, you know this.
I made a funny.
And that was why I issued a strike, because I wanted it taken down.
Okay. So she admits, to start it all out, that her emotional response was to strike. Now, later in the video, she does say that she reached out and retracted that.
I gotta say, I just didn't really think anything of it. It was just one
Right?
of those
Why
things.
would you?
I was like, I don't like the way you're using that. Get rid of it. I'm done with that. And then it kind of blew up a lot more than I guess I expected.
Are you kidding me? You didn't think YouTubers will be mad that another YouTuber's like, meh, I don't like that they're making fun of me. Strike!
YouTube.
Gone. No big deal. Moving on with my life with my insiders at YouTube and Google and my PR firm.
So fast forward a little bit from that, I ended up actually speaking to the guy in question. I retracted the strike, and that was that.
Good.
Or as far as I was concerned, that was that. Because that's what people were kicking off about. They were kicking off like, oh, you used copyright. We're not happy about this, blah, blah, blah. And
Blah,
not
blah,
that
blah.
it's any of their business. But anyway, the strike came off. That was the end of that as far as I was concerned. So went back to doing my gaming. And then I started doing reactions to anime style content, and then boom, it all kind of blew up again. People were unhappy with the style of content I was doing, which in my opinion, okay, like that's fine. It's none of your business. Like,
That's fair. That's a fair response. There are a lot of people that don't like my content.
so basically the reactions, they done amazing. Like they done the best I've ever seen. I mean, it was a crazy couple of months. But over the course of that, people were still attacking me for the content I was doing.
I have a problem with this language. It's purposeful that people use words like harassment and attack videos because that is the language of YouTube's community guidelines, right? It's as if to say all criticism is an attack, which, look, even though my criticism has been spirited, I hope that she doesn't think I'm attacking her. I'm only addressing the ideas.
I don't know if it was out of jealousy. There was a lot of views that were coming in.
Don't,
Awkward.
don't, ooh. If you're criticizing me, you must be jealous.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
The channel, and people were just seriously unhappy with it. They were basically trying to white knight the anime companies or whatever, and it was just a little bit weird.
She's not wrong. People are caping for the anime companies now because they don't like the things that you've done. So you understand then.
Basically, they were getting harassed by Tipster off YouTube. It was happening on Twitter.
I actually don't know who
And
this
they
is.
threatened her, and it really, really upset her. And she complained to YouTube, and YouTube came to me.
This is... God, I do not believe it. Again, at the time, Tipster was probably a 10,000 sub channel. I don't know. We're supposed to believe that YouTube reached out to you. By the way, a relatively nothing burger creator on their platform, right? I mean, I have double the subscribers you do, and nobody from YouTube just reaches out to me to see how Jeremy's doing. I don't believe you that this happened. And why on God's green earth would they reach out to Suzy Lu of all people? Seriously. I'm asking Suzy Lu for you to take me through like a child through the logic of this. They have a problematic YouTuber, as you put it. Why in God's green earth would they reach out to you? Second of all, why are they reaching out to any other creators about an ongoing investigation? That feels like a major breach.
Nothing had happened. Do you know what I mean? Like, between the first strike to this point, nothing had happened. But this person was like...
She's almost happy about it, in my opinion.
Relentless. Like, they were obsessed. It was kind of strange. Like, no matter what I would do, whether it was like making my own website, whether it was like changing...
Oh, see, now this is disingenuous too. The video about your website was not that, oh, Suzy Lu has a website. It was that he believed, and I like I do, you're using that website to skirt being flagged by bots on YouTube. That's why you have that website, in my opinion. And that's why it was newsworthy. It wasn't just that, oh, look, there's a website. Her ability to gaslight her viewers is legendary.
So when YouTube approached me,
again, I don't believe that this happened. You can make, there's no way YouTube just picked up the phone and called you. If this happened, there's an email. And by the way, you had the time to put overlays in this video, right? You had time to put overlays in this video, but you didn't show that. Why? You could have redacted their name. This is a very, very big claim.
I told them, I was like, yep, like this person recently even tried to become a Patreon of mine to subtly try and get information.
Investigate.
On what I was up to in regards to my website and things like that. So my PR had to shut that down. And it was like, what's your problem, mate? Like, what is your problem? So between that time, YouTube were doing an investigation into this channel because they had had numerous complaints.
Again, on what planet is YouTube telling one creator about another creator and a potential investigation? I don't believe this happened, and if it did happen, this is a serious breach.
They didn't tell me anything. Like, basically, I got a couple of messages on my Discord that were like, oh, have you seen that they've taken 3 videos down from Tipsters? And I was like, what? And I even...
But I thought you were intimately involved in the investigation.
Said at the time, I was like, see if they've taken videos that just have my name attached to them, like, I'm gonna be pissed because I know how that looks.
And that's exactly what they did. Why? Because you were involved from the start. It is my opinion that you reached out to YouTube and complained about the channel. It is my opinion that you sent these specific videos that you had a problem with, and that opinion is fortified by the fact that it is the only videos that came down. You know it, and I know it. By the way, we'll probably edit out this clip, but the clip of Tipster is completely irrelevant. It's just there to poison the well. Yeah, he's being mean, but you know what? When you sell your body on the internet, people are going to be able to make opinions of whether or not they think it's a good investment. Just saying.
So Tipster had an investigation going against his channel.
I don't believe you.
From months ago. And I just want to make it very clear that that investigation started because he was harassing a different creator.
Prove it.
Off platform. I want to make that super, super...
Again, all of this actually is just character hits on Tipster. This is actually a pretty, you know, this part of the video is definitely got some heat behind it. This is a personal attack at Tipster to try and hurt his credibility and try to further drive home that he deserved it.
Clear. And let me tell you guys this, to all the people that are like, you have the power to take down all these videos. If I had the power to take...
You'd take them all down?
Take down all of these videos. Do you think that my search on YouTube would be filled with so much lies, toxicity?
Oh, she's literally saying that. She's literally saying that if she could take them down, she would. This has a huge fallacy in it, too. The idea, now, the statement that she's making is simple. Well, I can't take them down. It's YouTube that's doing it. Right. But these videos aren't getting taken down unless somebody flags them.
People morphing my face, doing all of these things. If I had the power to take down all of this, why is it still there?
That means I tried and failed. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. Based on the fact that I'm getting endless complaints on my videos now, it's pretty interesting.
In regards to the other channel in question, sorry, I forgot his name. John Swan.
Oh, come on, Suzy. Come on. You don't know? You watched all 35 minutes of his video and you don't know? Come on, girl.
People were like, have you seen this video? So I had to look at the video.
By the way, Discord seems like a toxic place. That's why I don't use it. This is where all these operations seem to happen, is on Discord.
And they put up a video where the entire video was basically just talking about the size of my forehead, going on about my features.
What?
You don't get...
Oh, hell no!
What? A 35-minute video you discount as entirely being about your physical features. That is 100% grade A bull. We know this because John Swan edited out 4 minutes, which did have some light jabs, and YouTube approved the video. So again, gaslighting your followers with misinformation. Do you think they're stupid? Do you think they didn't watch that video?
Oh, I was very vocal about that one. I says to you guys on Twitter or wherever it was, I was like, I didn't like that video.
What is that? It seems like that's code for go flag it down. That's what it seems like in my opinion. These are the same words she used about Tipster's videos. It's the same words she used about Mark After Dark. I don't like that video. That seems like code.
I was pretty annoyed about that video. And all that happened in regards to that video was I had a ton of people come over to me to basically be like, oh my god, look at the size of your forehead. And that's what I was getting constantly. And I was like, no, you can piss off. You know what?
Take the video down.
I'm not happy about that. Again, and this is what blows my mind, is that he also came out and said, okay, that was risky. Shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, the draconian system that we live in, we're not allowed to make any jokes. He acknowledges that. Again, relying exclusively on the ends justify the means. Curious positioning.
That you were in the wrong with what you did.
No, they didn't admit they were in the wrong. They admitted they gave you an opportunity to get them. In this video, you even said they made a mistake.
People can send their audience over to me all they want to be like, you shouldn't ever report any videos. Oh, okay. So we'll just see like dodgy videos on YouTube. But you know what? You know, bless the person that uploaded it. I know I can see up that child's skirt, but I won't report that.
That's not the same thing, and you know it. Again, misdirection. She must really think her followers are really dim.
Like, obviously, people flagged that video to my attention, and they had already reported it. So, who's to say that my report done absolutely anything?
We don't know, but we know your fans did flag it, and we know you did too.
Do you know what I mean? My fans were unhappy with that.
Again, the unhappy.
What do people expect? Obviously, there's people out there that no matter what you say, they will support me. And when they see things like that, they'll get upset by it.
And then they'll what? Flag videos down? Okay, it's your guys' fault.
Like that, it's so obvious. Do you know what I mean? But I just want to make it so clear to all the people that are trying to drag up things that are so unnecessary, that don't matter to the context of what the F happened. This had nothing to do with copyright.
Again, this is the same argument that Stejo used, because myself included referred to it as copyright instead of the community guideline system. They've clung on to that as like an excuse, like, well, you said copyright. I didn't use copyright. I used the community guidelines. So get wrecked. Okay. You use community guidelines. You still reported the videos. You openly admit you report the videos. And here you are in a 30-minute video with 6 ad breaks telling everyone to get bent. I actually appreciate the moxie.
I am so sick and tired of seeing people like, she just copy strikes any criticism. Completely false. Find some evidence. Find a screenshot of where I have...
How about all the videos that are getting taken down with your name in the title? How about every video I upload with your name in it is getting various privacy complaints and closed captioning complaints? It has nothing to do with you, though. All my other videos are fine. Wouldn't it have been a legendary response if Suzy Lu had uploaded a video and just disavowed anybody flagging any videos down? Like a 2-minute video of her saying, look, I know you think you're trying to do the best thing for me because you like my content, but I'm asking you to not involve yourself in any of this. Please do not do this. She would have made a legendary comeback. She could have done that in a 2-minute video. I'm sorry if my fans got overzealous. And you know what? I know that I've been, I've been inflammatory. I also acknowledge that you guys crossed the line, and I'm not, and you're not without blame. But I'm telling my viewers, please, please do not do this. She would have come back instantly. It would have been the end of it.
Why would you put your own channel at risk like that when you knew what was going to happen? Like, it's so dumb to me. It's so dumb.
Almost like uploading full anime episodes and only turning the opacity down on your video.
As for the rest of it, because I don't want this video to like drag on and on and on, but
It's already
the
been
rumors
16.
are ridiculous. Suzy Lu is being investigated by Google.
That's my video.
It's literally not true. The person that was sending those emails was sending them to everyone.
That doesn't mean that it's not true, does it?
Like, we did some investigating our end because we have a contact at Google.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, you used your super secret content. Your contact at Google. Now you have a contact at Google and you have a contact at YouTube. There's some real insider stuff going on here.
It is not true.
Prove it. Prove that you reached out to somebody at Google and they disproved it. You didn't do it over the phone. I know you didn't. So if you did email them, share the emails.
But if I see people who are harassing other creators, if they are harassing me, if they're being downright disgusting, you have literally targeted the wrong person who will just sit back.
Because I'm going to flag you down. This sounds like a threat to me, in my opinion.
And let you do it.
This really, in my opinion, sounds like a threat, doesn't it? Just my opinion, though.
I won't. It's not in my nature. Like, if you're literally going to sit there and just harass people constantly, and YouTube comes to me and says, what's your dealings with this person?
I don't believe YouTube ever came to her. I don't. I believe she flagged videos and opened a conversation with YouTube in the first place.
I'm going to tell them. Do you know what I mean? I'm obviously going to tell them how you impacted me, what you have done over the course of this year, basically.
Pretty sure the worst thing affecting you right now is your behavior, in my opinion, which is leading to thousands of people unsubscribing. But, I mean, what about taking that personal responsibility you keep telling everyone?
Mass reported them. How much power does the mass report button actually have?
A ton. It brings videos to the attention of people who will eventually bring it down. You know this. This is legendarily bad. Look, at another point in this video, I'm done. I'm done responding to it. It's just making me too angry. There's another point in this video I'm going to point out where she says, well, yeah, it could happen to anybody. My channel got taken down through a YouTube glitch. No, it wasn't a YouTube glitch. You were busted by Tokyo TV and they struck all your videos down. It wasn't a glitch. But you didn't take any responsibility for that either. And I'm sure you won't take any responsibility when all these other anime companies start bearing down on you and start enforcing copyright protection on their own content that you are putting behind paywalls on Patreon and monetizing via AdSense on your website. But you won't, I'm sure you'll take all the responsibility for everything that happens because you're all about personal responsibility.
Suzy Lu is a reaction YouTuber with over 370,000 subscribers. As a self-professed businesswoman and control freak, she entertains her fan base of mostly older men by reacting to various animes such as Naruto and My Hero Academia. On the surface, her content is nothing to be too fussed about. Sure, it's lazy, uninspiring, and you wouldn't catch me watching it. But behind that is a brain of deception, fraud, hypocrisy, and corruption. Suzy Lu, along with her boyfriend, Stijo, make the perfect couple. Together, they abuse the YouTube copyright system, systematically flag down people criticizing them, and yet their unethical and illegal behavior is directly protected and promoted by YouTube, with Suzy Lu being a prominent figure in last year's YouTube Rewind. Over the last 12 months, I've been gathering the files. Today, we go through them.
What is up, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. There's that much like misinformation, false rumors, hate videos, and things like that.
Suzy Lu is a hypocrite. She files a false copyright takedown.
Fair use is such a grey area. That's the thing.
She has one of the smallest egos that I have ever known.
Why would I care to prove my innocence to a bunch of nobodies on the internet? And obviously, if you guys are not aware, there is fair use.
Wait a minute! It's all the stuff talking about the story! Wait a minute!
Yeah,
wait a minute! Suzy, no!
Copyright infringement has been a big topic on this channel and on my Twitter account. From Just Destiny to Onision, I've talked about many instances where individuals and companies have taken advantage of the YouTube copyright system. But there's one case that I've been putting off making a video on because at the time I just didn't think there was enough information to justify a full video. But over the last 12 months, many more developments have occurred that makes this situation impossible to ignore. Let's start at the beginning. On March the 12th, 2019, gaming and reaction YouTuber Suzy Lu filed a copyright strike on a video that was at the time over a year old, created by gaming YouTuber Mark After Dark. Mark included a 23-second clip from one of Suzy Lu's Let's Plays of The Last Guardian VR as the intro for his video about The Last Guardian VR, poking fun at her reaction.
Oh, please don't tell me that's the end of it. No! I want to spend the rest of my life like that. It feels so real. That's not fair. It's not fair. That's made me cry because it was so amazing.
Stop it. Get some help.
Wait, that was it? Yes, folks, this was the clip that offended Suzy Lu so much that she took it down from YouTube. And I say offended because this is certainly a fair use clip. She knows that, and her lawyer boyfriend knows that. Oh yeah, did I forget to mention, her boyfriend studied law.
I have a law degree, and one of the main focuses was international intellectual property law, which, apart from being a mouthful, is a really interesting subject. It's about how people protect their intellectual property via like design rights, patents, trademarks, and copyright.
Just keep this in the back of your mind at all times here. Now, understandably, Suzy Lu received a bit of backlash for this strike. Mark After Dark took to Twitter, where a number of very interesting exchanges were had with Suzy Lu.
Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Twitterversus. Today we will be taking a look at Suzy Lu. After Mark After Dark called her out, she had some pretty interesting responses to the situation. She tweets out, "Dude, literally no one cares what you tweet. You are just a massive loser."
How I picture you? Haha. Haha. Be gone, nobody.
You steal, you get striked. Maybe ask a channel permission before you take their content. Will save you a headache in the future.
Thanks for the views anyways, boys. Must suck seeing such a noob get so much attention on your beloved game while you nerds sit in your mum's basement getting zero.
I own the copyright to my face, which is what you used without permission. You were clearly desperate to use someone who gets views to help your video get a boost. LOL, too bad.
Now, as you can tell, we're dealing with a very intelligent individual. It's a good rule of thumb on the internet and in life in general that if you're going to criticize people for doing something, make sure you haven't done the same thing yourself. Otherwise, you'll probably end up looking like a massive hypocrite.
This is the type of stuff on YouTube that pisses me off. This is a live stream. This is a YouTuber doing that live stream. Now, do you see this YouTuber in this video? Or is this stream just pure theft of BBC content? This is pure mainstream media content just being streamed. Here, have a listen.
I haven't got his numbers there yet, but
there's no commentary or anything over this. It's pure theft of content just so that they can get views. Don't support people like this. This is no better than stealing something directly from someone's house or from a store. It's pure theft and it's bullshit.
Okay then, this brings us to March the 21st, 2019, when Suzy Lu took to her YouTube channel to respond to the criticism she was receiving. This video was filled with misinformation about the copyright system and a piss-poor attempt of her trying to justify her bad decisions made in the past.
I came across this guy who was bragging about doing a video on me. So my mods went and found this video, and it definitely confused me because the start of the video was my content, then it cuts to his content of him playing The Last Guardian VR game. But it was like there was barely any mention of why I was at the start of it. It was like I was only there just for the intro, and then it it just kind of cuts to him. So I sent the video to YouTube, asked them about fair use, and YouTube took it down.
Wrong. Due to the Online Copyright Infringement Liability Limitation Act, also called Safe Harbor, YouTube cannot get involved in copyright disputes. YouTube won't get involved in the process because fair use can only be determined in a court of law, as Suzy so aptly proves in the next segment of her video.
Fair use is such a gray area. That's the thing. Like, fair use will only ever really be decided by a judge in court. So I sent the video to YouTube, asked them about fair use, and YouTube took it down. Fair use will only ever really be decided by a judge in court.
As you can see, two completely conflicting statements here.
It's very rare that I will ever actually ask to take down somebody's video, but if you actually saw the video in question, it was not a critique, the person was not talking over it. They literally took my section of the video at the end, zoomed in a little bit, zoomed out, and put some closed captions on it. Now, I have done so much research about this since Monday, and at no point has it fallen under fair use.
Now, a primary figure in the Suzy Lu investigation was Tipster, whose research has been invaluable in the creation of this video. He even brought on YouTube lawyer Ian Corzine for an interview to talk about fair use and how it related to the Suzy Lu case and Mark After Dark's video.
Yeah, of course that clip is fair use. I don't even understand how you can construe it any other way. Mark was making a joke, and it's followed by a direct comment, the Michael Jordan picture, in quote, after she makes her statement.
Now, I have done so much research about this since Monday, and at no point has it fallen under fair use.
Yeah, of course that clip is fair use. I don't even understand how you can construe it any other way.
But this wasn't the original upload of the video. No. You see, Tipster's original upload of this video got taken down with a community guideline strike for bullying and harassment. Yes, an interview with a lawyer about fair use is bullying and harassment. This video's content was not harassment in any way at all, so suspicions started to arise about who could have possibly flagged down his video. And everyone's eyes went straight to Suzy Lu. This leads us to the 31st of March, 2019, where Suzy Lu appeared on an internet news show, RFC After Hours, where she attempted to give justification to some of the things she'd said and done over the past few days. During this stream, Suzy and her boyfriend, Stejo, both showed their YouTube flag history. Stejo's came out clean, but Suzy showing her flag history might be the most iconic moment of all time on this show.
I got 5 minutes.
All right, then show your flag history. We don't need.
We need to see your flag history. I don't care. I want to see your flag history. I mean, this is vital. If you want to prove your innocence, you got to show your flag history.
Why would I care to prove my innocence to a bunch of nobodies on the internet?
Oh, definitely not guilty. You flagged Tipster. Oh, no. You got to see video. We can't see that.
We need the screen share.
We need the screen share.
Whoa. Hold on.
Lots of GG Reloaded, though.
Yeah, lots of GG Reloaded. Wait.
Look on the right-hand side. Scroll down.
This is not a good look, Suzy.
Wait a minute! All the stuff talking about the story! Wait a minute!
Yeah, wait!
Suzy, no!
I'm a channel over 100,000 subscribers. When you hit that point, you get your own personal partner manager. So ultimately, I've been speaking with many different people at YouTube this week. So they are aware of the situation, and they're at that point where the channels have been flagged, and basically they're just looking into it at this point. And I know for a fact that a lot of the videos, they're just hate videos for the sake of it, you know. So the channels in question are currently being investigated, so that's some really good news. Yeah, I'm leaving it in YouTube's hands now. They're aware of literally all the hate videos, and they're looking into them all, so.
In the meantime, Suzy's boyfriend, Stejo, made a video defending Suzy and her actions. And needless to say, some of the points were rather interesting.
Suzy Lu has an ego. Okay, I beg to differ, knowing her better than, pretty much anyone. She routinely entertains hundreds of thousands of people a day. That's ego-worthy, if you ask me. I mean, that's something to be proud of. But I can tell you from my own experience living with a woman that she has one of the smallest egos that I have ever known.
Why would I care to prove my innocence to a bunch of nobodies on the internet?
She still thinks that she's a tiny YouTuber, just entertaining a couple of friends.
Ah yes, Suzy Lu, one of the smallest egos ever to exist. the same person who doesn't want to prove her innocence to a bunch of nobodies on the internet, and the person who, in 2017, told McDonald's workers on strike for higher wages to go and get an actual decent job. No ego there, nope, no, not at all.
And I'm not going to get a funny argument about fair use. They say it's a false copyright strike, and I've got something that'll fix every one of your videos. It ain't false. It's only a false copyright strike if it's not from the copyright holder. You cannot issue a false copyright strike. This isn't false because she owns the copyright. Whether or not you think it's fair use is absolutely all to do with it. You have to not own the copyright to issue a false strike. This is idiotic. You people are morons.
This clip is the reason I question the legitimacy of Stejo's credentials. He clearly doesn't understand fair use or copyright law as he defends Suzy taking down Mark After Dark's clip. But then he also completely misrepresents what a false strike is. A false strike is not a legal term. It's just a name used for a takedown that a party might feel to be incorrect or unjustified.
For you to give criticism, you require respect. I need to respect your opinion enough to take your criticism. If you're a random little cop on the internet who's never shown any interest in my channel or absolutely anything that I've done before, I don't respect you, and therefore your criticism is nonsense.
Now, the reason Stejo and Suzy have such an issue with any amount of hate or criticism is because of this mindset right here. If you only take criticism from your immediate audience, who's going to call you out when you mess up? Your diehard fans who blindly follow your every word? No, it's got to be someone outside of your immediate circle who can take an objective view. So, in the words of Stejo,
you people are morons.
Now, there are many more shenanigans in this Suzy Lu story that I'm not going to cover here, and I would have told you to check out Tipster's videos on her, but just yesterday, Suzy Lu mass flagged a bunch of Tipster's videos on her, and they were taken down with a community guidelines strike for, you guessed it, harassment and cyberbullying. I can only assume that she was trying to deter me from uploading this video. Once again, I'm pretty certain that she has someone at YouTube that run all these strikes through without much interference from a review team, but of all the people to pick for this special treatment, why Suzy Lu? The same person who's been called out countless times by the community. At this point, Suzy Lu has overstepped big time, and if she doesn't start to change her tune, larger and larger creators will start to cover this story and make the criticism impossible to ignore. For many months after this initial set of videos and responses from Suzy Lu, she kinda just went under the radar. She did her own thing and minded her own business, and during that time, she started to transition her content from gaming to reactions. Namely, anime reactions. So with this in mind, let's take a look at Suzy Lu's current content and see what high-tier stuff she's making recently. Yes, I'm not kidding. These are the reaction videos she's making now. And if you think I'm making it look worse than it is, just take a look at her channel yourself. If she does give a reaction to anything, it's usually just some sort of exclamation which adds absolutely nothing to the video and isn't a comment of any sort.
Oh, guy! See ya!
Great stuff, Suzy. Now, after Suzy Lu found some success with these reactions, Stejo decided to do them as well. And you guessed it, they're just as bland. Now, apart from being bad content, it also, most likely, breaks copyright law. At the time of writing, I took her most recent Naruto Shippuden reaction and edited it down to all the parts when she speaks or has any sort of exclamation. Out of the 18-minute and 7-second video, she speaks for a whopping 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And if you do the math, 81% of the video is content that does not belong to her.
Damn! Hats off!
It doesn't require a genius to see this content does not satisfy fair use, but let's go through the 4 factors anyway because I want to flex on the haters. The first factor of fair use is the purpose and character of the use, including whether such use is of a commercial nature or is for non-profit educational purposes. Although no factor is independently determinative, the heart of fair use inquiry is the first factor, whether the use is transformative by adding something new with a further purpose or different character. The The central purpose of this investigation is to see whether the new work adds something new, altering the first with new expression, meaning, or message. Now, I would say that Suzy Lu's use of these almost full-length anime episodes is certainly not transformative. What is she adding to this at all? Is she altering the work with new expression, meaning, or message? I would say not. She isn't actually changing the intent of the anime at all. A bit ironic when you compare it with just a few months back when she said fair use had to be a criticism or critique.
If you actually saw the video in question, it was not a critique, the person was not talking over it.
The second factor, the nature of the copyrighted work, is rarely found to be determinative, so we can pretty much just ignore this factor entirely. The third statutory use factor turns on whether the amount and sustainability of the portion used in relation to the copyrighted work as a whole is reasonable in relation to the purpose of the copying. In assessing this factor, the courts consider not only the quantity of the material used, but also their quality and importance. The crux of this inquiry is whether no more content was taken than necessary, given the purpose and character of the allegedly infringing use. Suzy Lu is using large portions of the original animes, adding minimal reactions and commentary that doesn't change anything in line with the first factor, and she's certainly not taking only what is necessary. So, to be honest, right now this doesn't look good for Suzy. The fourth factor is perhaps the most scathing for Suzy Lu. This factor applies to the effect of the use upon the potential market for or value of the copyrighted work, and concerns whether the secondary use usurps the market of the original work. A defendant usurps the original work's market when the infringer's target audience and the nature of the infringing content is the same as the original. Thus, the more transformative the secondary use, the less the likelihood that the secondary use substitutes for the original. I'm going to answer this question with another question. Who is watching these videos? I think it's pretty clear that the people watching these anime reactions are fans of the anime that she's viewing. Thus, Suzy Lu is stealing market share away from the original creators of the series and is usurping demand for the work by serving as a market substitute. She shows enough of the anime in these videos that people would rather watch her reaction than pay for it. Just the other day, she claimed she had the permission from Crunchyroll to view these animes on her website because Crunchyroll advertises on her website, even though all the ads are from Google AdSense and Google places them automatically. It's an interesting point, actually. I wonder if Google would actually be very happy with Suzy Lu uploading copyrighted content and then placing their ads next to it. Just something to think about. Now, any court would look at this content and wonder how it even got to that stage. It's so blatantly not fair use, I don't even know how Suzy or her boyfriend would rationalize it. So, if this is against fair use, why hasn't she gotten in trouble yet?
Her channel has gotten removed for violating copyright.
Suzy Lu's been terminated now.
My best friend Suzy Lu just got her channel terminated from YouTube.
Well, this week, for about a full day, Suzy Lu's channel was completely terminated for violating copyright.
So you might have noticed the past couple of weeks have been a bit weird on my channel.
On the 27th of December 2019, Suzy Lu's channel was terminated for copyright infringement, just 20 days after she was featured very prominently in the 2019 YouTube Rewind. She had received over 3 DMCA takedowns or copyright strikes from Tokyo TV for her use of the Naruto animes. And if you don't know how the strike system on YouTube works, after 3 strikes, your account gets terminated.
So basically, I was at a Christmas party with family. We were seeing all the nieces and the nephews and things like that. And I was absolutely hammered. And I went to check it and it was like, account suspended. And I was so drunk and I was just like, what? I was like, I don't have enough strikes on my channel for that to be a thing. I must be drunk. And then by the time I woke up the next day, I was like, are you joking? Okay. I basically phoned up my YouTube partner manager and I was like, what the heck's going on? And I felt so bad because my partner manager and then all the people that work with him they're supposed to be on holiday until next week. So they went straight back into office and they found out what happened.
Now, as I've stated before, these strikes were most likely valid. But what does YouTube do? They reverse all of them. Now, as I've stated before in this video, YouTube is protected under Safe Harbor, which means that they are not responsible for copyrighted content uploaded by their users. But to qualify for this, service providers have to adopt a system where repeat violations result in termination, and has to inform users of this, which YouTube does. And they also have to make sure their systems don't interfere with standard technical measures, which are technical measures that are used by copyright owners to identify or protect copyrighted works. In other words, a DMCA takedown request. By reinstating Suzy Lu's videos and removing the strikes, YouTube is directly getting involved in copyright disputes and reversing a legitimate decision of a copyright owner to take down a video. All 2 days after Christmas, mind you. I'm convinced that there has to be some simp running this operation, because there's no way that someone in their right mind would go out of their way to break the law for Suzy Lu.
It was all people who, they break apart the footage that they use. And obviously, if you guys are not aware, there is fair use. And the whole point of that is to take the original works, do something with it, make it different, and then make it your own. And that's a really big thing on YouTube. And I feel like that's what allows most of the content to even exist.
A gross overgeneralization of fair use here. And it's very interesting, 81% of content that isn't yours is fair use, but Mark After Dark's clip isn't? Okay then, Suzy.
So a couple of days ago, I done a video talking to you guys about TV Tokyo and this bot that they keep chucking onto YouTubers. It's not just me, it's so many other people, it's a joke. And I can't actually get too into it because it's now a legal case behind the scenes. But we're coming for you. Okay, we are coming for you.
I'm sure suing one of the biggest entertainment companies in Japan is going to go very well for you, Suzy. Now, I went on a full search for any cases including Tokyo TV. I went to the Japanese Supreme Court website and I went to the UK Supreme Court website, and none of them have any cases listed for Suzy Lu, Tokyo TV, YouTube, or anything similar. So whatever action they're taking, it isn't listed in the court system. But while all of this was going down, some people figured out something else about our buddy Suzy over here. It turns out that for weeks and weeks and weeks, Suzy Lu had been uploading uncut anime reactions to her Patreon. Yes, you heard me. No cuts, no pauses, the full episode with Suzy going... It's very funny because as soon as we called attention to it, she completely removed all of the episodes and privated her Patreon so that we couldn't see how much she was making. But we can extrapolate, and Nicholas Diorio said that following the current trend data, she would have hit $10,000 a month on January the 6th, 2020. $10,000 a month from full-length anime episodes. At that point, it's just pure theft. Tipster told me a while back that she had stopped uploading uncut anime reactions, but in the interest of good journalism and research, I decided to pledge $5 of my hard-earned money acquired from my wonderful Patreons to Suzy Lu's Patreon to see what she was up to. It's like a Patreon ecosystem, isn't it? Pledge to my Patreon for more high-quality research. Okay, that's enough of the plug. Let's check out this Patreon. And, what's this? She's still doing it? Yes, folks, these are unedited with the full anime visible in the corner, hosted by Vimeo, whose guidelines state that no rips of movies, music, television, or any other third-party copyrighted material are allowed to be uploaded on their website. Patreon states that if potential online piracy is funded through, hosted, or located on their platform, they have a robust copyright procedure in place to facilitate the removal of those potential infringements, or in certain cases, termination of entire accounts. So Suzy is in violation of some serious stuff over here. You can't tell me for 1 minute that this stuff is fair use and she's not violating copyright law. She is in 100% clear violation. We haven't checked on Steejo for a while, have we? Let's see what his Patreon looks like. Well, he's still uploading anime reactions, but it's unclear whether these are cut or not. Really can't tell. I don't really want to pay. And oh, wait, what's this? Do you guys watch on Patreon because they're unedited or because they're fully visible? Would you rather for me to upload the fully edited... Steejo, no! How dim do you have to be to make this section public? So Steejo is still uploading uncut anime on his Patreon, a complete violation of copyright law and Patreon's own terms. Just remember, this guy studied law. He thought the anime reactions on Suzy Lu's main channel was okay, he thought his own reactions on his main channel were okay, and he thought the uncut reactions on both their Patreons were okay. Where did this guy go to law school? So that seemed to be the end of Suzy Lu's anime escapades. She was reduced to just watch-alongs on her main channel for Naruto and could only react to a select group of animes. But if there's one thing you should know about Suzy Lu, it's that she's very persistent.
I am so excited to be recording this video right now. A couple of months back, I had this crazy idea about creating my own website. So I had this idea back in November. It is now the 29th of January, and I am so happy to announce that the website is going live tonight.
Oh no. Now, this website, suzylu.co.uk, houses many different types of reactions for Suzy Lu. According to her, once they get a subscription service rolled out, you'll be able to watch uncut reactions on her website instead. She's really intent on stealing other people's money, isn't she? For now, the home for the majority of her reactions are here. But unlike YouTube, Suzy Lu isn't protected under safe harbor laws. She isn't hosting other people's content. She's uploading her own, which means that to stop her from using their content, Tokyo TV will sue her. It seems to curb this, Suzy Lu originally blocked the website in Japan. Suzy, why did you think this would work? And it seems her website was already caught in legal trouble, as many of her links are in the Lumen database and were apparently DMCA'd and removed from Google. Obviously, as she isn't hosting content for other users, she doesn't have this function on her own site. She's just gonna get sued. You also can't turn ad block off on her website, which means that you're constantly giving her money for stealing other people's animes. So that's very ethical. At the end of the day though, I really do think Suzy and Seijo are past the point of no return. They've established themselves as absolute jokes in any serious communities and will continue to be criticised and scrutinised until they make an effort to change their behaviour. But let's be honest, that's never going to happen. It's just fun to see everything go down. But if there's one thing I want you to take away from today, it's that Suzy Lu can't handle criticism and is in violation of copyright law on a daily basis. And YouTube does everything they can to protect her, even if it means getting sued themselves. But hey, that's just how the cookie crumbles on this wonderful website, doesn't it?